Joey, as you can see, my newest guest that I'm announcing for the Houston Livestock Show on Rodeo All-American Takeover on March 12th is that Mexican OT.
Yes, I see. That's amazing.
Houston by way of Bay City. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, for sure. I being from Houston, you have to be familiar with rodeo and the rodeo culture, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, did you, I mean, was rodeo something that you went to, attended? Have you gone in the past?
Yeah, yes, sir. Not the Houston rodeo. Basically, we always had our own rodeo down there in the country. So whenever I went, it was to that one right there.
Okay. When you
Yes,
got when you got the call for this one, what was your initial reaction? What did you think?
I mean, man, I'm already known as that Mexican out of Texas. So to be able to have y'all to have my back and support me and want me there, it's more than an honor. You know, I wouldn't even know how to stress it. Beyond more than grateful. You know, I think it'll be fun. I know for sure that my fans are gonna be there because you know Texas is in good hands with me, and you know I'm Michael Jackson to them. You know, so I'll tell them to jump off a bridge and eat a bowl of shit, and they're gonna do it.
Let's not tell them to do that, OT. Let's just tell them to show up on March 12th.
All right.
Bun, what has it been like for you unfurling these names one at a time, getting people excited? What kind of reaction have you been seeing doing it this way?
Well, I mean, this has kind of been par for the course at this point. You know what I'm saying? We get a nice group of entertainers, but I always want to try to save some prizes. And I don't think there's any fun in me just saying all of these people are going to be there and y'all show up. I try to make this a different way of engaging with my base, but also allowing us to find fun ways to connect my base with particular artists. So I'm going to particular places and naming certain artists based on the connection that I think that artist has to the base of that platform. That Mexican OT being from this area, using a local media outlet, to me makes perfect sense. And who better to talk about it than our local music writer, Joey Guerra, you know what I'm saying? So I think all these things just make sense to me. I want this to feel right as we roll these things out. I want it to be fun for people. You know what I'm saying? You got to wait till I go over here to figure out about this. You got to wait till I talk to this person to find out about that. You know what I'm saying? But everybody should be really ready because when we get to the last names on this list, if you ain't got your ticket, it's going to be a wrap at that point.
Correct.
Why was that Mexican OT right for you for this event? What made you say, I want him this year on this lineup?
Well, look, I've gotten to know him over the last couple of months. You know what I'm saying? We've been around each other. We performed together at the Texans halftime show. And I think right now what he's doing is a great representation of the city. He's got a record that not only connects with people here in Houston and people all around the state of Texas, but as you can see, his record has been connecting all around with people all around the country. And
I'm rookie of the year in London right now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a great person that we have as a cultural export to the city. And I find that I have the opportunity to showcase people every now and then and give them the opportunity of the platform that I've been afforded. And I think he's a great person to put up there. He's a great representation of his culture. He's a great representation of the city and the state of Texas. And I think the people are going to come up and show out and see this man.
Right.
What has it been like for you taking, like Bun said, the Texas culture, the local culture, and taking it onto, at this point, worldwide stages, right? What has that felt like for you?
It's cool, you know, but it's just so me, you know. I'm a Texan at the end of the day. I'm from Bay City, Texas. All I know is this. So for me to walk around with it and people like it, it's a blessing, you know, because it's just raw me. It's uncut me, you know.
Bun, this is now the third year of doing these, right? What have you kind of learned from the past two that you are putting into this year's event?
Well, I think we got a good idea of the kind of people that come to see my shows, that come to see the takeovers. You know what I'm saying? We've read the room pretty well. So I think that now we got a really good idea. Like, the first year was an all Houston show. So it gave everybody an entry point. But as you watch that show and as we watch different artists come on and do different songs from different times, you could see what records were really resonating in the room. So I got an idea of the demographic, the age demographic of people that come to see the takeover. There's obviously some people lower than that and some people higher than that because the rodeo gets a lot of families. They get to come out. But I think we found the sweet spot, what we think the people would expect from what we're doing. And I think this year we're gonna, I really, I don't want to say too much, but I got a real show, Joy. And like, I'm not playing. Like, this is gonna be one for the record books. I got a real serious show.
And me speaking on my behalf, me just knowing my fans and what they look like and who they are, man, I got people that are 68 years old and I got people that are 5-year-old and I got people that are black, white, Chinese and Mexican and I know that, like, man, the world loves Mexican OT, and that's because I come correct. I make everybody feel a part of. I have a great heart, and not only that, I just, what I'm saying, it's my work ethic and my talent is just it. So people have no choice but to recognize it and love it. I just had an older white man come up to me today. Like, that's the last person I expected to come up to me. But now it's just at the point, man, like, it's a blessing. They love it. I know everybody's coming. And Texas is already a big pot of gumbo. We got everything there.
That's right. That's right. Particularly Houston. Talk to me a little bit about, being at this event, being on stage with Bun and, kind of what he's been for you in terms of a musical influence or somebody maybe you looked up to.
Bun has been a part of my whole childhood. He's UGK, like, it's like he's one of the faces of Texas. Like, he's on the Mount Rushmore, you know what I'm saying? So, like, he's one of my heroes. So for me to be able to do things like that, that's like me being put in the jungle by my uncle and my cousin, and I come back with the lion's head, like, look what I got, Theo. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what that is.
That's high praise.
For sure. I know, Bun, there's been so much conversation now about country music and rodeo and black artists and all these things. I mean, obviously you don't do country music, but what do you sort of say to people who are kind of having these conversations around, Beyonce's new songs and, all this craziness that it's causing?
I did think OT. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, OT.
Were you talking to me or Bun?
Both, actually, if you both want to talk about it.
Because I make country music. That's what I jam. I jam rock and country. I just so happen to be good at rapping.
I think Beyonce is always going to be a topic of conversation one way or another. And there's always going to be people that, for every 10 people you find that absolutely love Beyonce and appreciate what she does, you'll right now in this society find 10 people that have something to say. And it's not the normal thing, so people want to question it. I think it's a beautiful thing. Beyonce always finds some kinds of ways to make genuine cultural entry points that bring people together. I'm excited to see how the whole album comes. Yeah,
absolutely. I want to ask you about...
She's always welcome to come and do some of these songs on March 12th at the rodeo, you know what I'm saying? But I think she knows.
What I want to ask you, what is it like for you, especially the first time you did this, standing on that rodeo stage, maybe not being able to see all these people, but knowing that, like, 71, 2, 3, 4,000 people are out there?
It's a lot, man. It's real overwhelming in the moment. And particularly the way that we presented it, because it was Houston for Houston by Houston. You know what I'm saying? And, that was the first time slabs had ever been on the dirt. It was the first time people had seen a lot of their favorite rappers in person, seeing all of this Houston culture live in front of them at the rodeo. The Houston Livestock Show and rodeo, I don't know if there's anything more Houston than that. You know what I'm saying? It's a place where everybody, it's a place where everybody goes. And as we've done it more and more, we're in the ninth decade of it at this point. They're doing a good point of making sure that everybody feels included and invited and welcome at the rodeo. I'm glad to be a part of that, you know what I'm saying, by being allowed to bring all of that Houston hip hop culture and Houston city culture to the rodeo that first year, man. I mean, that's being able to do it more and more is obviously a huge deal, but I think the first one, for many people, I think you would say the first one is always going to be the biggest one. And again, we did it for the city. My wife was like, I think we should just make it a Houston show. And she couldn't have had a better idea. I don't know if we could have done any better for the first year. I don't know if we would have gotten the second year if we hadn't done it the way she suggested we do it.
Yeah, yeah. You said something really quickly right now, and I know you've mentioned this concerning this upcoming one, that this is going to be the most inclusive show that rodeo's ever seen, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, to the different levels of artists that we're bringing in, and we're doing this on a Tuesday night, so it's a different night.
Yeah.
It's not Black Heritage Night, so it's not a designated cultural association night, right? It's just another day at the rodeo. That being said, I think everybody knows they're welcome at Bun B's show at the rodeo. And so I'm trying to bring artists whose music reaches more people, right? So I'm trying to bring big artists with some people whose records might have been the biggest record in the world that year. These are the kind of people I want to bring so that no one feels left out just because they don't listen to Southern hip hop or Houston rap. You know, if you listen
I
to,
agree.
you know what I'm saying?
I
I want
agree.
people to feel welcome. I want people to feel like when they come to my shows at the rodeo, that there's something there for them. So bringing the Mexican OT in, bringing, these are people who have connected with people all over the world, bringing in E40 and Too Short, people who are legendary, well respected, bringing in Rick Ross, you know, who is internationally known, travels all around the world performing right now, presently. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be very hard for someone to not see someone they have already connected with when I'm done laying out these artists for this rodeo. It's going to be very hard for somebody to feel like they got left out.
Mr. Joey, I thank you very much for having us today, man. Like, I appreciate you for your time too, Bun. I appreciate you for keeping me in mind. It's a blessing, man, and I'm super excited for it, man.
I know you got a lot going on. I know you're on the press run, man. We appreciate your time, my boy.
Nah, of course. I thank you again, bro. Y'all have a wonderful day, Mr. Joey. It's a pleasure. I hope to meet you soon in life, you know. And Bun, again, thank you, bro. Blessings. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
Come on, man.
All right.
Awesome. That's great. I mean, that's exciting. You know, I didn't know who was going to pop up. So,
right.
Yeah.
That's what I said. It's no fun if everybody has a heads up. I think it's fun to roll these things out in this way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Try to create moments for people.
Yeah. Yeah. What I know, you know, you always think about, especially at rodeo, what you're going to wear, right? I know you had the poncho last year. Have you started putting together this year?
Yeah, that stuff got to be done a little early. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a personal designer, Luke, who from Purple brand. Luke's a good friend of mine. Luke's a Houstonian as well. And so the more time we, give him to create something, the more intricate he can be and more specific. The problem is I got to wait till I'm booked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. So you don't really get booked until later in the year. So at this point now, he gets an idea of what kind of time he'll have to design these things. So he'll start sketching ideas. Like this year, he had ideas. He was like, just in case, just in case, just in case. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to have fun this year. We're going to have fun this year. And everybody's asking if the poncho will be back. I don't know if that poncho is going to be back or not. But I think there will be a poncho on stage. So I'm almost certain. But you got to show up to see.
Yeah. And I know last year we had some drama for a little bit with the poncho, right?
Yeah, that poncho, we had to really put that thing up and secure it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a piece of, at this point now, it's a piece of hip hop history.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Joy. So we're gonna have some fun with fashion, with music. We're gonna create some real moments for people, man. I'm excited to present this takeover. I think this is gonna be really, really a really talked about because we're doing this in the middle of the week, so it's not gonna get lost in weekend news like a lot of these shows have been. I think this one will set off a little bit more of a media storm nationally for the show and the rodeo.
Yeah, I mean, and I think these shows, I understand and recognize how big of a deal these shows are, right? Not just musically, but culturally and for the city. And
Yes.
I think it's important to kind of understand and recognize that, especially maybe you know, it's not just another rodeo show.
Yeah, no, we're working behind the scenes to try to find a way to put this entire, idea of what the youth and livestock show on rodeo is, and the ability for me to be a part of it. We really want to put it in proper perspective for people. So stay tuned. So we're kind of working on that behind the scenes as well.
Well, I appreciate your time as always, and really looking forward to the show and to see who else is on the lineup.
Yep, got a couple of more announcements, but then we're gonna have a surprise or two as well. Joey, thank you as always for your support, my friend.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Have a great day.
See you at the rodeo.